The rabbit hole, the social credit system, is coming for the good citizen. Your money could be taken away and you will be restrained and restricted. Famous podcaster and commentator Joe Rogan warns the Americans about what the elite seek to achieve, the total control of our societies through a combination of digital currencies and now the new digital wallet identities, which in the future may be linked to bank accounts and to a specific social credit system, which will be based on good behavior, quote unquote, point system like in China. Many have heard that in China, every citizen has a rating that determines trustworthiness in the eyes of the authorities. Every citizen accumulates good behavior points, quote unquote. In short, if he's liked by the authorities with what he says and does, he gets certified as a good citizen and therefore has access to funding and benefits. If, on the contrary, he falls below the base in the rating, hence creates problems for the existing authority, he's cut off from access to benefits and in general to any social activity that promotes his life. And one way this is achieved is through electronic IDs combined with the virtual abolishment of cash. After all, the main representative and theoretical exponent of the elites, WF President Klaus Schwab, has declared himself a fan of the Chinese governance model, which means that this is exactly what his political disciples intend to do all over the planet. Joe Rogan said, "So how do you feel about the government's digital currency that they're working on?" Rogan answered, "No way, no way, that's what I think. I think it's checkmate, that game's over, because if they apply that to a social credit score, if they decide somehow or another that you need some social credit score system and it's for the benefit of society, and they outline that, they can track your behavior and your tweets and all your things. They just decide you messed up and the rules are the rules." It's noted that completely coincidentally, the NWO has its main purpose to limit the use of cash allegedly to combat tax evasion. Limiting and ultimately abolishing cash means abolishing freedom. That is, someone will not be able to buy something they want if it does not have the approval of the electronic financier and without all the employees of the global finance system knowing about it. Artfully, the NWO sells the narrative that what do you have to hide? And unfortunately, the masses, having been deprived of critical thinking for decades, they accept this. If the money becomes completely digital, then the point system can be applied from the next day and money can be deducted from anyone who is not a good boy or good girl. Unpopular does not mean delinquent, but anyone who dares to express opinions that are not liked by the dominant political system and reacts to what is done for them without being asked. If there is widespread use of cash, this cannot be achieved. But the governments are good, they're democratic, they're elected, we have to trust them. Someone would say it's Alice in Wonderland just before entering the rabbit hole. Dictatorship of the digital society. The social rating system is a control tool that works according to certain parameters for evaluating citizens and organizations. Data for such a rating is collected by government organizations using mass surveillance tools, cameras with face recognition, public services, and then processed using big data analysis technology. The SSR is currently being implemented with the People's Republic of China. The Chinese government has begun implemented social credit system in 2014, under which holders of different positions in the ranking will have different credit conditions. The main goal of this campaign was to build a harmonious developed society. 4 areas of life should be assessed: public affairs, commercial activities, social activities, and court cases. This means that a citizen needs to be honest, law-abiding in all spheres of life. In the era of the digital society, a huge part of a person's information is located in social networks and chats. It becomes much easier to get the information the state needs. The culture of a citizen's behavior determines his personal rating. Relatively speaking, he can rise in the ranks thanks to completely different actions. The position will improve if he gets a good education or behaves respectfully online. The position may worsen if, for example, a loan payment is not made on time or cultural values are offended in the comments of a social network. And thus, with a low rating, the life of a citizen can noticeably worsen. Since 2014, data on the multifaceted life of a citizen has been collected by government agencies and 8 private companies, including Tencent and Alibaba. All fragmented information is sent to a single information center, which processes it using big data technology. And based on this, there are 3 sources of obtaining a social rating. A rating system is, in certain cities, general blacklists and social credit systems data from financial institutions. General blacklists. If a citizen has violated the law of a country, then he is included in the general blacklist, which forms the Supreme Court of China. For some serious violations being on the blacklist, it's forbidden to use your personal account to buy any apartment, car, buy tickets and move around the country on different modes of transport. Of course, you can restore your rating to a positive value. In addition, you can always appeal the decision of the court, and with the positive outcome, you are excluded from the blacklist. Social credit system, a convenient tool. The system analyzes the creditworthiness of citizens and companies through an algorithmic model for analyzing information received in real time. Friends in social networks with low rating, a large number of hours spent in games can negatively affect the rating. If you like to send money to charity, you have friends with high ratings on social networks, then the probability of getting a loan becomes higher. In such a digital dictatorship where there is no confidentiality of information, it's interesting to know how the system is assessed by citizens of the PRC themselves. According to a study in China's article, Social Credit System and Public Opinion, explaining high levels of approval, wealthy, educated, and senior citizens enthusiastically approve of the introduced rating system. At first glance, it seems counterintuitive that wealthy and educated citizens can support the system, which has the potential to affect citizens' economic, political, and social freedom and empowerment. The high degree of approval is due to the fact that more educated city dwellers are tech-savvy and more open to technological change, and social credit system is seen as technological progress from their point of view. So the most educated and affluent citizens, especially in urban areas, have access to a large number of benefits from the social credit system and willingly use them. They ostensibly see social credit system not as a surveillance tool, but as a tool to improve the quality of life and fill institutional and regulatory gaps, leading to more honest and law-abiding behavior in society. Also in China, many citizens do not have access to credit cards due to traditional banking institutions and cannot access the financial rating. The positive assessment is also associated with the transparent methods used to determine the social credit rating. Of course, public opinion may change as the social credit system becomes more tangible with a set of additional punitive tools. Some citizens are already worried that social rating cannot influence officials. A good image of the social credit system is also formed by the state media, which depict a utopian society with honest, law-abiding, and obedient citizens. But besides this, the rating system is a convenient tool for combating dissent and creating an image thinking of a convenient citizen, quote-unquote, who cannot go against the state machine of universal surveillance of everything and everyone. And this is on Solask. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.